And let's say we'll say regret and balanced regret or neutral regret or something like that. You need to identify the two.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yes.
So tell me about regret first and then the other, or compare the two and tell me about this is this and this is this and so on.
Regret goes back to a time where I felt helpless.
Well, no, I don't want that. That's content.
Okay.
I want images. Where are your images? What kind of words are you saying to yourself and so on?
The words I'm saying to myself is you could have done better.
You could have done better.
Yes.
Okay. And those are comments on something, right? They're words about some experience. So what is the experience that they're commenting on? See, this is where another piece of logical levels. I'm going to throw it in from time to try and get you on this track because it's so useful. So the words are about something, right?
Yes.
So I could have done better than. So there's a comparison too, right? And we know already that he's got what he did and what he didn't do, and he's focused on what he didn't do, but he's comparing it to what he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Working without content really simplifies your life. It really does. And it cuts out a lot of verbiage. A lot of people want to tell you their story and all the content and all the rest of it. So what kind of, I assume you have some images related to these. Most people do. So tell me about your images of what you did and didn't do, or whatever.
On the more powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
On the regret.
We'll call that regret.
Okay. Well, with me, it's more words than images.
Okay. But the words are about
Yes.
something. So I want to know what the about is. What it's about, I'm sorry.
The about is about not going further
Okay.
at the time.
So you have an image of what further would have been. And you have an image, I assume, of what you actually did.
Yes.
Okay. Where are those? In your personal space. Okay, so they're side by side?
Yes.
Okay. Which one is which?
No, it's this is the same image.
I'm sorry. Okay.
This
Sorry.
is the regret
One image?
one. Yeah, the regret. No, it's just the regret one. It's not the
Okay.
other one.
Okay, but it's a single image?
No, two images.
Two images. Okay. And tell me a little bit about those images without giving away content. Is one what you did do, and one is what you didn't do?
They're both is what I didn't do.
They're both what you didn't do. Okay, so there were two different things that you could have done that you didn't do?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, put your hands down for a moment. Now take what I'm calling balanced regret or neutral regret. What is that like?
That's off in the distance.
Okay, nice gesture. So how far off?
Oh, down by the camera.
Okay, and what is out there? Is it the same as this? With
No,
two images?
no.
Different. Good.
No, it's only one image.
One image?
Right.
Okay. And that's what you might have done, is that correct?
Yeah. But it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't have
well,
that.
it's far away and so on. Okay.
Right.
Any other differences between these? You got these two right here,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one's far away. It makes sense, right? Which one's going to impact him most? These are right here in his face, and the other one's real far away. Anything else any other distinctions? Like is that one's smaller, I assume.
Yes, and
dimmer.
that's been replaced with something else.
Okay.
This one has not.
Okay, that's been replaced with something else.
Yes.
How do you know it's been replaced? Do you now have the replacement?
Yes.
And there was something earlier that got replaced by it?
Yes.
Okay. If you were to dredge up the image that one is now replacing, can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. But your attention is on what you replace it with, and is that something more positive?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Now, just given what we got now, we could do, what do you call it, mapping across, right? I don't want to do that, but you could do it. And it might work fine. I don't know yet, because I have very little experience with this. But that's one thing you could do. Okay, so map across would be one possibility. Now, I want to just try a little thing with you, and we'll see if it makes any difference. Can you think of something that you once regretted, and then later on, you got more information, and you realized you were saved from a dreadful...
Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Absolutely.
Now, can you contemplate the possibility that at some future time you might get that kind of information, and that this would be transformed in the same way?
Yes.
Okay.
I've never thought of it that way, but yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm up to doing, is what people never think of. Okay. What kind of information would allow you to have that kind of change right now? As you think about the content of these two images here, what kind of additional information would allow you to put that into a totally different category?
Seeing a change in the situation that we're talking about.
Okay.
Would put it into a different
So
category.
if you saw some kind of change in the situation.
Some kind of positive changes in the situation.
And is
yes.
this involves other people?
Yes.
Okay, so you're kind of dependent on what they do.
Yes.
Okay. Now, imagine that you actually got that kind of information.
Gives me a wonderful feeling.
Okay. That would do it, wouldn't it?
Oh, sure.
Now, it's all hypothetical, but this is all part of teaching. This is sort of a quick and dirty way that you could do mapping across. Because I assume that you got some kind of information that allowed you to take that far one and replace it with another image.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Now, one thing you could do is take corrective action, right? Can you think of any corrective action that you can take? In general, one could take corrective action and remedy either an action or an inaction. Now, sometimes you can't, but theoretically, this is a possibility, right?
I can try to take corrective action.
Okay.
I don't like the word try, but in this case, I would try.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be sure of the outcome.
Right.
Okay. Can you imagine what corrective action that would be, without telling me? What could you do now? This happened sometime in the past. I don't know if it was a month or 2 years or 10 years, whatever, but if there is some opportunity, can you think of some?
Yes.
Okay. Now, deciding what you could do is a first step, and then scheduling it is another step. Can you think about when you might have an opportunity to do this?
But just to note, I'd have to give something and give up something to do this.
Okay. Well, that would be your call, right?
Yes.
Because you have your values,
Yes.
and you have a certain amount of time and effort and energy and
Yes.
so on. But is there a corrective action that you think you would be willing to take? You know, balancing the positives and the negatives, and the time that it would take, and the effort it would take, and so on. Is there something that you would be willing to take?
Yes.
Great. Can you think of a time in the future when you will have a chance to do this?
Yes.
So schedule it in. You know, put it in your day timer.
Now I know
Stuff
exactly
like
when it is.
You know, oh, wonderful. Okay, great. Now, given that commitment, what's your regret like? Does it make a difference?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
It softened it to having another chance to make it work, make it right.
Great.
Absolutely softened it.